Are you trying to weigh how you can make the most impact speaking on stage versus working online? I promise you, speaking on stage is way harder to make a living at. You're going to have way less impact. You're going to have way less income. You're going to be so much more exhausted than if you can build your impact through online. Part of the reason for that is when you're trying to speak on stage, you're spending a lot of time hunting, trying to get gigs. You are getting into rooms where you don't necessarily really know who is in the room, and you don't get to have those intimate conversations with the people in the room. If you do a really good job, you might wow them so much that they're afraid to actually come up and talk to you and get your card so that they can engage you for work later. What also happens is you're spending a lot of time away from home. Travel these days, not super fun. Travel, when it was easy, was still very exhausting because you're changing time zones. You are sitting in airports, having this anxiety of whether you're going to catch your plane, you're going to make it there on time, whether your hotel room will be ready, all these things come into play. And I know a lot of people think, well, if I can just get out there, if I can just make it as a speaker, then I will be able to make more money, I'll be able to have more clients, and I will have more impact. That time that you spend on stage, even if you're spending half a day or a day, most likely what happens is people leave the room and the information that went in goes out the other side of their brain. And so the impact is pretty empty. It's pretty minimal. And it also has very little impact to create more income. In contrast to that, online is lucrative. It allows you to create impact. It reduces your time and also creates more intimacy, which I know sounds weird. Speaking to people through the camera versus speaking to them in a room, you would think that intimacy would happen more in a room with a whole bunch of people. But the truth is, when you are able to reach out to people across the world, wherever your clients are coming from, and you are able to have rooms where people are able to let their guard down, they get to know each other, they start to be able to trust each other, that their vulnerabilities, their boo-boos are not going to be judged by other people, then you really do create that intimacy. In a giant room where you're speaking, people are not going to let their guard down. You may have some brave people who are willing to say something that people are like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't be able to admit that. But when you actually get to smaller groups where you're working with them online, that allows you to create much more intimacy. It also allows you to create more impact. The minute you step off the stage, again, information is in one ear, out the other. But when you have the ability to show up for people time and time again, and you're working with them on a weekly basis, you are able to create much more impact because you get to work on something, a project from start to finish, and see it through and help people to have immense success. People who speak from the stage don't help people to have immense success. And that is empty, especially when you're putting so much energy into creating that presentation. And then you really haven't influenced anything. But when you are able to work online and work with people in that intimate setting over a period of time, you will be able to create impact. You're going to help to create forward momentum for people and allow them to have their lives transformed. It's also going to take you a whole lot less time. If you are regularly putting out content, people are seeing you on a regular basis. Whereas if you're speaking at a conference, people might see you once a quarter, once a year. And so you're not having that FaceTime with them. When you pop up, they're all excited. But when you have that constant presence on social media, where you're putting out content that is valuable, that allows people to see who you are, how you think, through how you are presenting your knowledge generously, that creates a lot more trust as well. And it takes a whole lot less time because you're not traveling. You can do it from the comfort of your home. You can do it from the comfort of the jungle if you want. And so it allows you to really reduce the amount of time that you have to spend to create that impact that you want and to create that legacy and also the intimacy that you want with your clients. It's also far more lucrative. I know it seems sexy to be a keynote speaker. It seems sexy to be out on the road and, getting all this attention because you are a great speaker. But the cost per hour versus what you make per hour while you are on the stage, it's usually quite disparate. compared to, you sit in front of your computer, turn it on, you are able to get connected with people, you are able to create that impact, and you're also able to make a lot more money. And that money honestly feels so much better because you know that there is transformation that happens behind it. Part of the reason I stepped off the stage, and I haven't been back on the stage speaking since 2022, is because what I found by stepping off the stage was that I was able to transform so many more lives. And so contrasting that by working with people intimately, creating courses where I could take them through, work really intimately with them on their business and get them an amazing result that they can rinse and repeat after, felt so much better than getting on stage, wowing people, and then not knowing whether that actually created lasting impact on them or not. And I know it doesn't create lasting impact. People will see me and say, oh, I remember when you did that speech. I remember when I saw you move, and the way that you presented things, it was like a symphony. But I created a feeling, but did I create impact? Did they execute things in their business or in their life? Oftentimes not. So creating inspiration is different than creating impact. And so for a lot of people who are trying to get their name out there, I'm going to promise you it's going to be way more efficient. It's going to be cost and time. It's going to be more cost effective and time effective to create your presence online. And it takes bravery because, if you screwed up in a room of 500 people, only 500 people knew. If you screw up online and you got 25,000 people watching you, 25,000 people saw you. But you also have the ability to reach out to so many more people because of that online presence. You have the ability to stay in their purview over a longer period of time to create that trust, to eventually get people into free webinars, challenges, and then eventually into your program. So it is so much more effective to spend that bit of time every week creating content, getting conversations going with the right kind of people, getting people onto phone calls, getting people into challenges where you get to know them really, really well, and then you can get them into your programs if they're a good fit. And it will save you the energy of traveling all over the world, of trying to get ready and have that adrenaline drain of stepping on the stage, while again, creating way more impact. So if that sounds like something that you're up for and you're ready to get your business going, you're ready to scale it, and you want to create that impact, not just create amazing financial outcomes for yourself, join the next Pivot to Profitable Entrepreneurship Challenge. And in 5 days, you will see how you can take yourself from where you are presently to where you want to go in the very shortest amount of time possible. Hopefully, I will see you there. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you.